Hello and welcome back. This is Grillenheimer Transformer TCG fans. Yeah, there's a siren going off in the background. I wish I could control that, but I can't. So we're going back into base cards. We're in the file 4 of the base cards here, in the P's and the Q's. I think we last left off around Quintessa and Rat headquarters. In one of the earlier videos, we looked at all the ships, all the ship cards. Ravages Cloaking ship would kind of be up next. That is blue and green, so it's defensive on the flip. Only mercenaries can get it on the flip. Of course, it can be easily drawn. Each bot mode has stealth. So, yes, stealth, tapped or untapped. And that goes for, again, battlefield. It's going to affect both sides of both players on the table. Each Decepticon and Maximal has bold 1 until end of battle, which is unusual. And even though I mentioned those two factions, it's really hard to see. It's actually a mercenary faction card. So keep that in mind if you're looking for certain faction cards. Up next is the Rectifier Coil. And this is not too dissimilar from my original idea of this from 2 years ago, when I was trying to do this stuff on my phone before I even downloaded the MSC, which was late 2021. So the Rectifier Coil is another defensive on the flip. Blue, green for the Predacon symbol. The Beast War Predacon symbol. While this is in the battlefield, again, this is going to help prevent, just like it did in the show, each Beast, Firecon, Insecticon, and Maximal cannot flip to bot mode. When this card is in the battlefield. If you have a question, read the first line again while this card is in the battlefield. Autobot or Decepticon upgrades can't be played by either player. So, if you are playing standard characters, Autobots and Decepticons, you're not going to be able to play those Noble Blasters or those Matrix of Leaderships or anything like that. Of course, they're upgrades. I think we do have a few factioned. A lot of these are faction base cards here. That doesn't include the base cards. But it does include the upgrades. So there's that. That's the Rectifier Coil. So, what if my character's already in bot mode? That's fine. If you flip them to alt mode to get when this flips kind of ability to trigger, they can't flip back while this is on the battlefield. So something to consider, something to think, something to finally somewhat stymie maybe the Insecticons. And because of the animal traits, I wanted to include the Firecons in here. So there's that. Let's keep moving. The remote Tundra. Whoops, sorry, I'm using my hands even though I'm not recording me. The remote Tundra is an uncommon, I almost said uncanny, uncommon base card that is white and black, hybrid, green pip, helicopter. So only the helicopters can get this on the flip. At the start of a player's turn, each player does 1 damage to a character in bot mode. So again, a lot of these base cards, you're going to see this a lot, and this happens to be one of them, but it's only going to affect them in bot mode. So if you were playing where you don't flip at all, which to me, that just doesn't seem like Transformers, but where you don't flip, then you would be safe. But again, at the start of a player's turn, everyone on the battlefield, each player does 1 damage to a character in bot mode. Each plane and helicopter has bold 1 until end of battle. Each beast has tough 1 for battle. So it's going to help give flying. I did not include seekers, just planes and helicopters, bold 1. Each beast, tough 1. So if you are playing with some helicopter traits, again, there's a few handful ragtag of my Beast War characters that can hover. Gave them the helicopter trait, so this will help them. Spinister, Vortex, the Arc's Vortex, whoever, get it on the flip, get a little bold off of it. That's not much. Wave 5 Beasts is even included. Give them tough 1 for battle. And just for the heck of it, I threw in Flamethrower can't be played by either player. Why? I don't know. It's the remote Tundra. And the remote Tundra does give Bold 2, of course. So you're going to have to play it if you have them, if that's what you're using, if you're going with that type of deck, etc. Then, at least play it before, on a turn before remote Tundra is played. And remember, the base cards need to be played first, at the start of your turn, before you draw for turn. So that's when they need to be played. That's how these work, and it seems to work. I really like this as how this is working. And I've been playing the game a little more. It was on quite a hiatus there since December. So let's keep moving. Rings of Saturn. This might be dangerous. Green pip only. While this is on the battlefield, when an enemy character is untapped by a battle card, the active player may untap a melee character they control. Each ranged character has a -1 defense, while a weapon is equipped for battle. I might need to reword this, but each ranged character, you're going to help break some of their defense down. A character cannot have defense less than 0. That should just go without saying. But whenever a negative attribute is mentioned, that's nice to have that reminder there. If they're using ready for battle, or whatever that, what is it, wave 1 with Ironhide on it to untap a character that's 10 stars or less, and they untap somebody, you can untap a melee character. If you have a melee character, that is tapped. And it doesn't matter. I do need to reword this. When an enemy character is untapped by a battle card, so who is the enemy? And who is the active player? So, yeah. I'm going to need to reword this, but it's probably going to end up wording this way. When a character, or when a player untaps a character with a battle card, the unactive player may untap a melee character they control. That's probably how this needs to read. And that's what I'm going to... I've been working on Rings of Saturn. Boy, that sounds funny. But yeah, this is a really neat image from Transformers Animated, which was actually a throwback to the Season 3 opening of the G1 show, when we see Blur running on the Rings of Saturn. So I just had to give this tribute. I really want, and it took me a while to find... and it was Blur's maybe first and maybe only appearance. Well, not his only appearance. He showed up in a few episodes in Animated before he got squished into a square box like Waspinator. Waspinator came back. Why couldn't Blur? Anyway, so that's Rings of Saturn. Let's move on. Scoreboard. So I need to fix a little text there on Rings of Saturn. Scoreboard is another green pip only card. This is dealing with the counters. When a player flips with more than one alt mode to an alt mode, move a counter from an opponent's upgrade to one of your own. If they have no counters, add 2 counters to an equipped upgrade to the active player, to an equipped upgrade the active player controls. So this is basically... If you were playing with triple changers, or any characters that have more than one alt mode, my homemade Optimal Optimus and a lot of my Transmetal characters, and like Depth Charge, Rat Trap, Cheetor, Transmetal, Megatron, Transmetal, Optimus Prime, etc., etc. I gave them, made sure that they were like triple changers and had secondary alt modes. So this, you can still include the G1 versions of Blitzwing, Octone instead of Octane, Astro Train, etc., Sandstorm. As long as it's a character that has more than one alt mode, and flip them to an alt mode, which normally is not their, well, a lot of the official, I'll just say this, I've noticed a lot with the official characters that Wizards produced, a lot of the stats were all exactly the same for each mode, except for maybe one character, and I can't remember who that is. But with my characters, for the most part, it's like I've got to mix this up. I wanted to really make it a reason why you are flipping to other modes, and I guess that's why that common Springer, because they did make two, that common Springer that got a lot of people in trouble with using the Daring Escape and the specialist cards and all that with Wave 4, I believe, was just so popular. And works so well. But so this is Scoreboard. It's actually going to be moving counters from. It's going to be simply moving counters from your opponent's upgrades to one of your own. But if they are not playing with those types of upgrades, you're going to be able to add 2 counters to one of your equipped upgrades that can take counters, whether it's the Star Saber or the Phase Shifter, etc., etc. So wanted to bring the counter upgrade gimmick in with the base cards, and I think this is a good way to do it. So even if they're not playing them and you can't have anything to move, it's going to allow you to add 2 counters. To get those upgrades and artifacts hopefully equipped. And so this is actually one of the a base card that doesn't get triggered at the start of turn. Once you play this and then you draw for turn and you have triple changers or characters that want more than one mode, you flip them from one alt mode to another. Excuse me, not their bot mode. Okay, the way I have this written, is they can flip from bot to alt or alt to alt. They just have to flip to an alt mode. Okay, so that's really all you're looking for here. And put two counters on one of your upgrades if they don't have any upgrades that take counters. So, more for you. And I was gonna mention that line from the G1 show. That the coach told Blitzwing, but oh well, it's just okay. Scramble City. Scramble City is a little different. It's not exactly how I envisioned this and how I really wanted this. Well, let's look at it. It's a Autobot Decepticon faction card, so it's got both on here because we're mentioning a lot of characters in here. It is an image of Spike, Autobot Spike here, which is kind of odd, and he's holding Megatron, so it's not an image of the. Maybe I should change this image and take Autobot Spike off of it if I can get a good image of what I'm looking for. But anyway, Scramble City, blue-green, anybody, no traits there. When a player has an Aerial Bot, Constructicon, Stunticon, Sentinel, Predacon, Protectobot, or Combaticon with no Enigma in their deck, they each have +1 to attack for battle. So basically, if you have any of these characters on your team and you are not combining them, See, that's the trick. You can say you're playing, I don't know, 2 Stunnicons with Runabout and Runamuck, or 1 Stunnicon with Runabout and Runamuck, or something. Or I did not include those Dinobots in here, but I did everything else just about, but not the Dinobots combiner. So I think this is neat, and I didn't include I don't think is it Velocitron? Oh, the female combiner. I forgot what they're called. They're fairly new to me. So again, it's sorry, I had a coughing fit. When you have some of these characters, say even a Motor Master with his ability, which can go with anybody, not just Stunnicons, and throw him in, and as long as you got Scramble City, this is going to help you immediately after you played it at the beginning of your turn. Boom, he's going to have +1 for battle. It's not much. I really don't want to give too much power to the base cards and let everything be incremental. So everything together from my Power Masters that I created, which I did, if you remember, I did that on purpose to give you more bold and tough without saying it's bold and tough. It's based on the engine of the game, of what you're flipping to let you flip more, etc., etc. So things to think about was really trying to pay attention to the play of the game, more the mechanics of the game, maybe not so much the strategy. So maybe my strategy could be off with anything that I make. I don't know. So let's look at one more, and we'll quit this video here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7 cards. Sentinel. This is an image from Beast Wars. This is a picture from a Better Mousetrap. It is an orange green pip card, base card. It is a maximal card. Only the maximals can get this on the flip. If you're, I was going through the depths of the custom page. Some people, other than me, have made Beast War characters for the good or the bad. And if you would like to try them out. I was digging in future videos, I may showcase someone else's card on here. It may be Spencer's, or maybe somebody else's, or Matt's, or whatever. Just something to bring back from the past and say, hey, have you forgotten this? And I may bring to light maybe an ATP card, the Arc, Energon Hustler, Bayformers, whoever. Just really trying to bring us all together, even just through little old me here. So Sentinel is actually aggressive on the flip. At the start of turn, each player, again, does 1 damage to a character in bot mode. So yeah, this sounds a lot like Remote Tundra, but that's all this does. It's all this does. Remote Tundra is a hybrid white and black, so it's also going to be giving certain traits bold and beast traits tough, while Sentinel is just doing damage. That's it. There's nothing else. It's not preventing any certain cards to be played or anything like that. Maybe I should have done something else here where maybe upgrades can't be played, or like any upgrades. I have not quite gone that route. But I may just leave it like it is. I show it as an uncommon. It's almost tempting to make this a common instead. But yeah, we definitely are going to go back. We kind of went back and looked at Ravages Cloaking Ship, went over the Rectifier Coil, Remote Tundra. I've got to do some text updates to Rings of Saturn, and you will see the final on the video. Scoreboard be helping to move counters from your opponent's upgrades to one of yours when you're definitely playing triple changers, thus the episode where this image comes from. Scramble City and Sentinel. So a lot of neat ideas. I think these could work. I did put a mock game out there that I've played recently and put out there, and it's gotten some hits. I mean, you know, you might have tried watching it, may have gotten bored with it. It was long. I apologize. And so is this. So with that, if you like this content, throw I almost said throw a like at the scraplet button. Throw scraplets at the like button. And we'll see you next time. Don't have just a great day. Have a blessed day. And as always, Autobots, flip out and let's roll.